Hello, I'm Steve Snyder. I'm the Enlist Field Specialist for Minnesota, North and South Dakota. I'd like to talk a little bit about today is the whole farm solution, how we're going to manage through the Enlist system if you're in a corn bean rotation. So if you've got about half your acres are soybeans and half your acres are corn, how can I manage the 2,4-D and not worry about resistant weeds? So we think about it, when we're looking at a lot of growers have been using the Enlist system, the Enlist One, the Enlist Duo on their E3 soybeans. They really like the system. They can build a good pre-program, good tank mix partners when they're using and getting very, very good weed control. Now we're going to introduce Enlist Corn, and the first question I typically get, and I've got it all winter and this summer during demos, is they'll ask the question, okay, I really like it on soybeans, but what about the corn? If I start using 2,4-D on soybeans, then I'm using it on corn, am I not going to have some challenges with weed resistant issues? And the answer is using multiple modes of action and following the Enlist weed control system. We've never recommended 2,4-D alone, the Enlist system, the Enlist herbicides alone. We always want tank mix partners. We always want pre-emerge herbicides. We've always recommended that on the soybean side. We're going to do the same thing on the corn side. We talk about in the Enlist system on the soybeans, for instance, we're going to talk a pre-program out there that's going to have at least 2, and a lot of the good pre-programs now have 3 different modes of action that are actually effective on the broadleaves that we're trying to control. And then we come in post-emerge, and we're going to use Enlist One plus a tank mix partner, or 2 tank mix partners, and maybe a layered residual. These are additional modes of action on the soybean year that are controlling these challenging broadleaf weeds. Then when we go to corn the next year, most growers are using a pre-emerge program in the corn. So they're using that herbicide pre-emerge, and then they come in post-emerge as needed with an Enlist One tank mix partner or some other traditional broadleaf herbicides. So we're going to be using 3 to 4 different effective modes of action on the corn year. We're going to use 3 to 4 different effective modes of action on the soybean year. There's a little bit of overlap, but you have different modes of action on the corn herbicides versus the soybean herbicides. So our goal, and it's just using traditional herbicides they're using right now, but we're getting 5 to 6 different modes of action effective on, let's say, a species like water hemp or palmer in any 2-year cycle. We're not relying on just 2,4-D. We're going to rely on different modes of action. And the side benefit of that is it actually makes the other traditional herbicides that we've been using for years, it increases the longevity of those herbicides as well too, because we're throwing some Group 4 growth regulator 2,4-D in there with the Enlist, and we're using some other ones as well, and it helps them all last longer. So to summarize, we can go with the Enlist E3 soybeans, we can use Enlist corn, we got the option of the Enlist herbicides on the corn, but we're trying to get multiple modes of action on multiple years with different timings. And that's how we're going to manage and not have the issue we had prior decades when we relied on one mode of action all the time. So you're looking for more answers on the Enlist weed control system and the total farm solution, please go to enlist.com.